In the architecture of a democracy, infrastructure can crumble, but laws endure. For 16 years, representing the Isuikwuato Umunneochi Federal Constituency, Honorable Nkeiruka Onyejeocha didn't just occupy a seat in the House of Representatives. She rewrote the rules of the game. With a record tracking over 35 sponsored and co-sponsored bills across 4 legislative cycles, her footprint is backed by verifiable history-making evidence. To understand her impact, one must look at the landmark 8th Assembly. It was during this era that Onyejeocha achieved a rare parliamentary feat, turning highly debated bills into the actual law of the land. For decades, an unwritten bureaucratic wall forced hospitals to reject bleeding gunshot victims unless they produced a police report. Onyejeocha challenged this status quo on the floor. The evidence of her success is historic. On November 14, 2017, the National Assembly passed the bill. A month later, on December 20, 2017, it received presidential assent. Under Section 1 of this Act, every hospital in Nigeria, public or private, is now legally mandated to receive and treat gunshot victims immediately, transforming the medical priority from administrative clearance to human survival. On that very same day, December 20, 2017, a second major bill sponsored by Onyejeocha became law, House Bill 120, the Anti-Torture Act. This landmark legislation provided the first comprehensive legal framework for penalizing acts of torture and cruel treatment by law enforcement authorities. Just weeks later, on January 26, 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari signed another of her primary sponsorships into law, the National Senior Citizen Center Act. This statute established a national institutional welfare and social safety net for over 9 million Nigerians aged 60 and above. Beyond the drafting of bills, Onyejeocha weaponized floor motions to demand institutional accountability. As a chairman of the House Committee on Aviation, she became a fierce investigator. Following the tragic 2012 Dana air crash, she laid an uncompromising, highly publicized probe into airspace safety and regulatory negligence. In 2013, she proved her loyalty lay with institutional integrity rather than regional sentiment. She stood on the floor to lead a motion demanding an investigation into fellow Easterner and then Aviation Minister Stella Oduah over the controversial purchase of 250 million naira armored luxury vehicles. It was a motion that triggered severe political blowback from her home region, but it cemented her reputation as a lawmaker who refused to compromise on her oversight. By the 9th Assembly, serving as Deputy Chief Whip, her legislative volume surged. National Assembly order papers reveal that in a single week, specifically July 23 and July 25, 2019, Onyejeocha introduced a heavy batch of sweeping financial and legal structural reforms. These included HB 204, the Nigerian Asset Management Agency Bill, HB 205, the Securitization Bill, HB 206, the Payment System Management Bill, and the reintroduction of HB 207, the Witness Protection Program Bill. Her most controversial battle, however, was waged on the constitutional frontline, partnering directly with Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila. Onyejeocha co-sponsored a radical constitutional alteration bill designed to create 111 special women-only legislative seats across the Senate, House of Representatives, and State Houses of Assembly. On April 28, 2021, she successfully scaled the bill through its second reading, though it was ultimately blocked by conservative factions during the final constitutional review voting. The motion forced historic national conversation on systemic political exclusion. From the defensive legal walls of Anti-Torture Act to the emergency room mandates of the Gunshot Act, Nkeiruka Onyejeocha's 16 years were defined by verifiable data, structural oversight, and laws that continue to protect the living, the dying, and the aging across the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Her bold, courageous, and golden voice is needed back at the Green Chambers.